And I'll do it for the right guy. What's cracking? Welcome back. I'm Jim Rome. If you're on hold, stay there. If not, phone lines are open, 1-800-636-8686. But right now, we're joined by a safety for the Houston Texans. He's entering his second season in the NFL. He was taken with the 37th pick overall in last year's draft out of Baylor. He was named to the Pro Football Writers of America All-Rookie team. He had an enormous first year. 147 tackles. 5 INTs, a sack, a fumble recovery. The Texans play their second preseason game on Saturday, hosting Miami. And then they open up the regular season against the Ravens on September 10th. Jalen Pitre is my guest. Jalen, good to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Good, dude. Good. So I mentioned you had a huge year last year. You're coming off that monster individual season. How are you feeling about your game right now? And then how are you feeling about the team overall as you get ready for the start of the season?
Yeah, first off, I want to start by saying I feel like all of those stats that you mentioned, none of those wouldn't be able to get none of those without my teammates. So first off, I want to give credit to them, for helping me throughout the season. And I'm feeling great. Year 2 has been good so far. I've been healthy, having a lot of fun out here. And it's just been good to get back out here with my teammates and just be on the field.
Jalen Pitre joining us. You mentioned your teammates. Let me ask you this. You put up those big numbers, and understandably, not without the help of the guys around you, but overall, what were your biggest takeaways from year 1? And then what are you looking to improve upon in year 2?
I think the biggest thing is confidence and trust. Trust in yourself and trust in your teammates. When you do that, I feel like you're able to make a lot of plays, and that in turn will turn to some wins. So I'm happy to be out here with my great teammates, my great coaching staff, and I think it's been wonderful. The growth that we've made from year 1 to year 2, and all the things that we look forward to doing in the future.
Trust, it's such an important word. Trust in yourself, trust in your teammates, and then I would imagine trust in the scheme, trust in the coaches. You've got a brand new head coach in D'Amico Ryans, very intense as a player, an all-pro linebacker. What's he been like to play for so far? And then how different do you think that defense, or how different will that defense look with him?
Deliberate. Coach Miko is very deliberate. His approach, he wants everything done the right way. He wants everybody being aggressive and, being intentional with what they're doing. So I think it's going to be good for us going into this year. And, we're going to do a lot of great things. I know Coach D'Amico has done a great job with us so far, and I just, look forward to the future with him.
We're talking to Jalen Pitre. What about the other side of the ball? You've got a brand new quarterback, of course, in C.J. Stroud, the second overall pick. It's a given. There's going to be some growing pains, but generally, how has he looked to you, and what do you think of the way he handles himself and carries himself as the future face of the franchise?
Yeah, he's a stud. Like, it's literally that simple. He does everything that he needs to do in and out of the building to be ready for, practice and games. Like you said, there's going to be some growing pains, but I feel like regardless of your position, regardless of what you're doing in life, you're going to learn as you go. So I think all of those experiences are, positive for him and for this team. So, I look forward to, riding with CJ, and I know he's going to be, great this year and in the years to come because, he's a real pro for sure.
Now, I like that reaction. He's a stud, period. He's just a stud. We're talking to Jalen Pitre. I had a great conversation with your fellow Texan safety, Jimmy Ward, not long ago. And that phrase, pros pro, it gets thrown around quite a bit, but that's exactly what that dude is. He's a pros pro. What have you learned from being around a guy who has played at a high level for as long as Jimmy has?
Yeah, Jimmy is an apex predator. Like, he does everything that needs to be done on the field, and he's always thinking about his teammates when he's doing it. He's a guy that's really selfless and a guy that, doesn't shy away from anything, whether that's contact, whether that's coverage. Whatever the coaches need him to do, he's going to do it. And, me just seeing him in year 10, the selflessness, the accountability that he has is really inspiring to me because that's something that I want to be like when I hopefully get to year 10. He's a like you said, he's a pro's pro, and he's the real deal. Like, he does everything right, and I'm just trying to, follow his footsteps and learn as much as I can from him while I'm here.
So, Jalen, before you came on, I was having a conversation, and I shared some thoughts about what was going on around the league yesterday. You know, it's hot. Tempers are up. Frustrations are high. Guys are letting their hands go all around the league during joint practices. I mean, what's going on here? Is this business as usual, or are joint practices, are they kind of getting out of control? Have they outlived their usefulness? Is there a better way to do this?
Honestly, I honestly don't have the answer for that. I feel like, you know, it is hot outside. It is very, you know, it's a contact sport, so tempers can get flaring, and, you know, in practice it's obviously thug, but people can be brought to the ground. So there's a lot of, you know, gray area in that. But I feel like for the most part, it's been good work with the Dolphins so far. I've learned some things. I've gotten better. I've, you know, challenged myself against, you know, their great offense, and I think that joint practices are a positive, and I think that, you know, the NFL should keep them going.
Speaking of that, you picked off Tua yesterday. You housed it, and then you let him know it, quote, screaming, "Get the bleep out of here, go home," which I love. I love the energy. Was that just a matter of how you practice is how you play, or was that a little more personal?
Nah, it's nothing personal with that, and it really wasn't targeted to Tua. It was just, you know, like, I don't know. It was just.
You made a play, dude. You were in the moment. You made a play.
It's in the moment, and like you said, every day is game day. I feel like when I wake up, whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to do it to the best of my ability, and I'm trying to, you know, do everything 100%, and I'm trying to do it all right. So every day is game day, and when I, you know, have a big play like that, I'm going to celebrate like it's game day. So that's what kind of went into that.
Great mentality. Every day is game day. I like that. I'm going to keep that. So before you go, you know, the thing about the league is you can go from bad to good or good to bad really quickly. We see it almost every single year. This team's coming off a 3-win season with a new coaching staff and a revamped roster. Do you see this team taking a big step this season?
I do, but I think the biggest thing that myself and my teammates are focused on right now is just the process. We're very process-oriented right now. We're not really worried about the goals because I feel like everybody has the same goals in the league. Everybody wants to get to the Super Bowl, but there's obviously some differences in the middle. So we're trying to, you know, take care of the middle and get that right and hopefully, you know, end up where we want to end up in the end.
See, I tend to believe that. You know, guys say that we're not worried about the results. We're worried about the process. And normally somebody might say, what are you talking about? The results are the only thing that matter. But the fact of the matter is you can't really control them. But you can control how you approach and how you react and what the process is. If I were to say to you, leave me with this thought. If you're only concerned about the process, not the results, exactly what is the process?
The process simply for me every day is my routine. You know, I have a strict routine and things that I do on a day-to-day basis in my game week. So I'm just going to stick to that and continue to, you know, refine that process as well. Continue to, you know, find things that work in a routine and things that don't work in a routine and, you know, continue to stick to that. And when I look up in the end of the year, I would, you know, make changes from there if the results were good and if they weren't good. So I think the biggest thing is just sticking to my routine and just showing up every day intentional in my routine.
And then finally, how important then, that said, how important then to you is consistency? Consistency in routine, consistency in everything you do.
Oh, it's the most important because I think in this league, the only thing that matters is the play that you're in, the play that's happening right now. You know, there's going to be good plays, there's going to be bad plays, but you got to take care of what you're doing in the now. And if you don't, then it's going to show. You're going to look back and say, oh, I took 5 plays off, I took 10 plays off, and then that's where you see the, you know, discrepancies and the slack start to show up. I think if you can stay consistent through it all, that's when you see, you know, the great players like Jimmy Ward and like D'Amico. Like, that's why they're so successful because of their consistency throughout the years.
Because they don't take plays off. They don't take reps off. One last thing. You grew up playing just 20 miles away from where you're playing right now, meaning your parents are always at NRG Stadium. How awesome is it to be able to share the dream with your parents, given how much they probably sacrificed so you could be in this position?
Oh, it's awesome, man. They mean the world to me. You know, all the things, like you said, they've sacrificed, all the things that they've taught me. And, you know, without them, I wouldn't be anything. Like, they're the sole reason why I'm here today. My dad spent a lot of time with me on and off the football field. My mom spent a lot of time with me off the football field, and I think that has, carved me into the man I am today. And, I'm forever, grateful for them and the things that they've done for me.
Good stuff. Coming off a great individual year, 147 tackles, 5 picks, a sack, a fumble. Texans going to open up the season against the Ravens on September 10th. Jalen Pitre made it in. Jalen, appreciate you. Great to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, too.
You too. Be good. Jalen Pitre. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.